Cameras. Use them every day, be it to check your teeth for food, take an artsy photo, or share a snapshot of what you're doing with all of your friends. As a whole, mankind has taken around 3.8 trillion photos ever, 10% of which were taken in the past 12 months. But have you ever considered how the camera came about in the first place? It begins with the human desire to capture reality. Drawing and painting were initially developed as a way to imitate and represent certain aspects of our surroundings. To assist in capturing this reality, they began with this, the camera obscura. The idea of the camera obscura is seen as early as the 4th century BC through the writings of an old Chinese philosopher, Mozi. Over the next millennia, it had been used by many a person, from Roger Bacon to Leonardo da Vinci. This camera does not capture images per se, but rather manipulates them. The light that is reflected off an external structure, for example, a building, comes into a room or box with a small hole in the side. The light, due to optical inversion, is then reflected upside down inside the box, in complete detail and color. Here is a real-life example of a camera obscura. As you can see, a hole has been cut into the wall, and the images from the outside have been reflected onto the inside. The camera obscura was among the first discoveries made in optics. Eventually, it led to various innovations, such as eyeglasses and laser beams. So how did we get something like this from the camera obscura? Let's go back to the Burgundy section of France, the year 1826. Joseph Niepce, a French inventor, had been experimenting with light-sensitive materials for quite some time. He was incapable as an artist, so he used his knowledge of chemistry to develop a bitumen solution, which he coated on a pewter plate and exposed to 8 hours of sunlight, capturing the first photograph known to mankind. After his death in 1833, Niepce's understudy, Louis Daguerre, took this idea and geared it towards public use in the form of a daguerreotype. This invention became vastly popular, but, as with any piece of technology, it had its issues. For one, during capture, each person would have to sit completely still for many minutes, hence why people in these photographs tend to look unhappy. It was difficult to hold a grin for the duration of the exposure, so many opted for a neutral face that sometimes came off as angry. With daguerreotypes, retaking an image really wasn't an option, so, in the year 1900, Kodak released this, the Kodak Brownie. The Brownie was the introduction to everyday photography as we know it today. As you can see, this is basically a miniature version of the camera obscura, with a hole cut out here that has a lens put in it, rather than a pinhole. This allows a more concentrated amount of light to flow into the camera, thus allowing a shorter exposure time. Through the viewfinder on the side, you are able to see what you are taking an image of, though it is upside down, as it was with the camera obscura. In order to capture the image, light-sensitive film would be placed here. The consumers of this product would never develop the images themselves, hence the tagline, "You press the button, we do the rest." Over the years, cameras have drastically transformed, from box to film, Polaroid, DSLR, GoPro, and even smartphones. So next time that you take a picture, consider how much history went into capturing that one moment.